Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm your host, Jessa Jeremiah. We have an excellent show for you today. We are going to check in with the McFarland Chamber of Commerce later in the show, and we're going to talk about a fundraiser that is a fashion show. But first, we have a very special guest. We have Cheryl McCullum, who joins us from Habitat for Humanity from Dane County, and we are so pleased to have you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes,
and
thank you.
I am fascinated because you guys have just finished your 225th home.
Right.
What an impressive accomplishment. Yes. And you've been doing this now for 25 years and partnering with families all throughout the area. The first I've got lots of questions for you. But the first question that really piques my interest is, how do you decide what families, what homeowners are going to be selected? This must be such a tough process and decision.
Sure. We have about 3 or 4 informational meetings a year. So we ask that families, or they're required to come to these informational meetings to learn about the program. And I would say, it's about a 45-hour meeting. They understand the program, see if they qualify, and then they apply. And after they apply, we go through some background checks, and we make sure that they're going to want to really partner with us, because there's a lot of work in building and partnering with Habitat for Humanity. So after they apply, they are approved by our board of directors, and then they move forward in the program.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So they really get to come and receive a lot of information, as well as give some information to determine whether these are the right homeowners to move forward. So talk to me a little bit about those requirements. What kinds of things are you looking for in families?
They need to be, first of all, willing to partner and willing to spend anywhere from 325 to 375 hours building their home. That's part of the uniqueness of Habitat, is they have to put in what we call sweat equity, so that they are actually partnering with us and building that home. We actually require our families to go through educational classes before they move into their home. Everything from budgeting, finance, lawn maintenance, how to maintain your home, how to be a good neighbor. We want our families who have been renters most of their life to suddenly move from renting to owning is a huge jump. So we want them to be ready for that jump and to be prepared homeowners.
And this is interesting. So you really have an important process that goes before these homeowners take ownership and in the selection process. You think a lot about Habitat for Humanity is the volunteer process. Right. So talk to us a little bit about that process too.
Sure. We have volunteers. We have thousands of volunteers. We spend about 4,000 hours volunteering, people who volunteer on our homes every single year. And they come, we have some regulars that come every single week, our Wednesday regulars. And then we have people who volunteer maybe once or twice, or they volunteer with their business. So they can sign up online if they want to volunteer, and we also have volunteers who volunteer at our Habitat Restore, which is another avenue that they can help us.
Very interesting. Yeah, so there's lots of ways to get involved and help, and all kinds of levels of involvement if you want to just donate a few hours of your time versus coming every week.
Right, correct.
So, very interesting.
Even if you don't know how to work a hammer, you can still volunteer, like at the Restore, other places. We have a lot of opportunities. So if people don't feel comfortable on construction sites, they can we have some other areas that they can volunteer.
I think that's a very important thing to mention, so folks out there who are not maybe as handy, there is still a wonderful way to help out, and that's very interesting. And there are so many pieces to this puzzle, so there has to be so many parts as far as getting all this up and running. So you've got your volunteers, you've got your homeowners. What other groups does it take to run Habitat for Humanity?
I think of Habitat as a 3-legged stool, and you've already mentioned families, homeowners, and donors. They are really an important part. Our donations help us buy the construction materials, get the materials ready so that we can build these homes for families in need. Our families do not get the homes for free. They do need to pay a mortgage. So the families are important because they're paying mortgages to us every single month. It's just as affordable as that we charge a 0% interest. That's what makes the homes affordable. But our donors are key too. So all 3 of those, donors, families, volunteers, they're the reason we can make these homes affordable for here in Dane County.
That's excellent. And we're almost out of time. It goes so fast, so I could sit and talk to you for so long. But just really quick, tell us how Habitat for Humanity specifically benefits Dane County.
Well, not only do we provide futures for these families, because these families really are, I think of the 225 families as being so important, but it's the 500 children that today are living in those homes that are really the future of our county and of the state here. So a lot of our children are going off to college. They've lived in a stable home now for years and years, and they've been able to focus on their homework and become, they're moving off to college and learning skills and going to be part of this community from now on.
Cheryl, thank you so much.
Thank
This
you.
has all been so fascinating, and what a wonderful organization. We'll have to have you back. So thank you
good.
very much.
All right, thank you.
And stick around. After the break, we're going to talk about a fashion show that is also a fundraiser. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Joining us now, we have a very special guest who joins us from a wonderful organization. Jenny Addis is here to talk to us about a fashion show called This Is How We Roll. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we are so pleased to have you, and I want to talk to you about this show because this is a wonderful event that is not only a fundraiser, but it is also a very unique event. So tell us a little bit about this fashion show and what is it that makes it so unique?
Well, it's really unique because not only is it a fashion show, but we're also raising money for a great cause. And then there's also the community awareness aspect of the show, which is really great because we get to share with the community, that there's more to our wheelchairs and a disability that meets the eyes. So all of our models are wheelchair users, which is really cool as well. Like there is really no other fashion show that is doing that. So it's very unique in that way.
Absolutely. This is a show that is truly unique just to you and your organization. And talk to us a little bit more about the models for the fashion show. How did they get involved? Tell us about them.
Well, the models can get involved very easily just by contacting me. I'm the fashion show coordinator, and it's very simple to get involved. And as long as you're a wheelchair user is pretty much the only criteria. So that's really, really cool. And on Fashion Show Night, you'll expect like this diverse group of models. So what's really cool is we have men, women, and children of all ages. And they all have different careers ranging from teachers, nurses, lawyers, to title holders even, and people don't really realize that, but this year we actually will be having Miss Wheelchair America, and I don't know if you knew this or how much of the public knew this, but our title holder this year is Miss Wheelchair Wisconsin as well.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, how cool is that?
And there'll also be actually a wide variety of title holders that'll roll the runway. So.
Well, that's exciting. So we can check out some of those big names that are going to be on the fashion show. Very neat. Now, I would like to know a little bit more about how this show, I know it's a fundraising event, how does it benefit your organization? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so our cause is the Brian Reich Paralysis Foundation. So all the proceeds will go to the Brian Reich Paralysis Foundation. And what's really cool is it's a cause that's very close to my heart personally. Like I met Brian Reich a long time ago when he was initially injured. And from that point on, we have been friends. And I've been a part of the organization for a while as well. So the foundation gives back in really great ways because we fund some of the latest in medical research. And we also give out scholarships and that sort of thing for people with other disabilities and neurological disorders, anything from like ALS, MS, to Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. A lot of people don't realize that when we do find a cure for spinal cord injury and neurological disorders, it's going to save so many people's lives. So if everybody could realize that, it really is touching each and every one of us in some way, whether it's your neighbor, your coworker, a family member, eventually we're all going to be touched by it, which is what makes this cause so unique and just very close to my heart. So.
Absolutely, and that is actually really fascinating. I knew that it benefited Inspiration Speaks. I did not know that there was other organizations and causes that it would help to benefit. So that's what an important event. Very, very neat. I'm sure that there are folks at home wanting to know how they can get involved in something like this. Do you have a recommendation?
Yeah, there's lots of ways of getting involved. We always need sponsors, of course, and volunteers, of course, and then you have the models as well. We still have room for models, which is great too, which is why I'm excited to be here today. So if anybody knows anybody that's in a wheelchair and that would possibly be interested, we still have room for them. So that's great. And then of course we want people to attend.
Yeah.
We want people to be there to see the show, because it really is a fun family event. It's for everybody. And even the young kids get involved. My 3-year-old nephew was there last year, and he just loved the lights, the cameras, and just everything, the music, and it's really fun. So
absolutely. Well, what a wonderful event. We really appreciate you coming and speaking about this event, and of course coordinating the event as well. So wonderful things.
Really quickly, people can get tickets, just by going to our Facebook page. There's links all over. But you can also go to my website, which is inspirationspeaks.me. But then the Brian Reach Paralysis Foundation, which is www.brpf.org. So
wonderful. So order in advance because you can save $5. It's October 11th, 3 to 5 o'clock. Jenny, thank you so very much for joining us. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more Talk of the Town right after this. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Joining us now, we've got Jasmine Vlasic, who joins us from Visiting Physicians, and I'm very excited to have you. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
So I want to talk to you a little bit about your house call services. Now, this is something where you actually bring the doctor to you right in the home.
Correct.
So this is an interesting topic. I want to find out more about how this works. So let's talk a little bit about eligibility for a service like this. Would I be eligible, or who would be eligible for something like that?
Most people who have difficulty getting into a physician's visit or a based hospital visit or a physician's clinical visit, our service is eligible for that person. So it's fee-based the same way as if you would go into a clinic.
Okay, interesting. And now is it normal sort of doctor hours? I mean, are the hours different because you're in home, or how would that work?
The hours are similar to a clinic visit. So we are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. If there's an emergency, if there's something that you need for our services after hours, we do have some doctors who are on call.
Okay, so there's some on-call for some emergencies, and that's always
Correct.
a nice thing to have should you need it, hopefully not.
Right.
But, we always plan for the worst, hope for the best kind of thing, right?
Exactly.
Now let's talk about costs a little bit. Now, I don't know how much you know about this, insurance costs, and as far as out-of-pocket costs goes, are they similar to a regular office, or is it very different?
No, it actually is exactly the same. So
Really?
when you go into a clinic's office, physician's office and a clinic, it's an 80-20 split from your insurance. So whatever your primary insurance is covers that 80%, and your secondary would cover the 20%. If someone has a copay, they're still going to have a copay, just like they do when they go to a doctor's office. The difference is we're mobile and we're coming to you, so we're providing that service in home or wherever your home is.
Okay, and now we talked a little bit previously about emergencies. Let's get back to that topic for a second and talk about if there is an emergency, what does that service look like? Are the costs different? Give us some information should we experience or need those services.
Sure. So the basis is that after 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening, we have an on-call service, so a triage, if you will. So similar type of emergency room type of, except for it's on the phone. So if a patient has an issue, one of our doctors is on call, they will take that phone call, they will base what's going on. If it's a true emergency, they're going to ask you to call 911, use the emergency system, and then get into a hospital situation if that's what you need to have done. If it's something that they have a medical need that could wait until tomorrow, then what we will do is have a physician come out and see them the next day.
Okay.
So it really just does depend on what the situation is and what's going on at the time.
Okay, that's important to know.
It is.
And now let's talk about potentially other services? Is it just that doctor services, or are there other things that you do at Visiting Physicians Association?
Great question. We have a physician who travels with a medical assistant. So when that medical assistant is there, she's helping, doing blood pressures, doing a weight check. We can draw blood, so we can certainly do that. Our Visiting Physicians has a laboratory service as well as x-rays. So we can actually bring x-rays to the home as well. So we have a mobile x-ray van that would come in and actually bring in this x-ray machine and be able to take x-rays right in the home.
That is impressive.
It is a nice offer services that we can do with our physicians, yeah.
Sounds too good to be true.
Most people say that. It is too good to be true. And again, if your insurance company is going to pay for a service when you go into a clinic, they should certainly pay for this service as well if you have difficulty getting into that physician's office.
Absolutely. And this is a very interesting topic. We've got a little bit more time. So talk to us about, is there anything, do you think, for viewers at home who may be hesitant to look into something like this? What would you tell them? What's a great way to get started?
I think the great way to get started is to call our office number, which I think you have posted, and just ask about our services, find out if their insurance will cover them for what we offer, and they can go from there. They can make the decision once they verify and have their insurance authorized to make sure that they have met their deductibles, or do they have any out-of-pocket expenses. And again, most of the time it's the same way as going into a doctor's office, Medicare being your primary, and that's the biggest insurance company we work with. But that's the best way to do it, is give us a phone call, let us know what's going on. We can certainly walk you through the process, let you know exactly what your insurance is going to cover or not, and then they can make that determination whether they want us to come into their home or not.
Absolutely. And talk to us a little bit about the comfort level for the patients in home. Do you find that their comfort level is the same? Are you able to provide that same level of comfort as if they were to go to the doctor?
Actually more, and it's a very good question that you brought up. When you're going into a clinic setting, you're usually looking pretty good, you're getting yourself dressed. When we're seeing you in your home, we're actually seeing you more holistically. So we get to see your environment, we get to check out, your eating habits. Do you have things in your home that might be a hazard for you? So we can also bring in other services. So for us to see you in your home just alleviates a lot of those things that a physician doesn't get to see in actual or office-based physician's practice. So it's a very good practice to have someone come into your home, and it's hard to let someone in your home, but honestly, once they do, I think they feel pretty comfortable.
Excellent. Wow. Well, that is absolutely fabulous, and it was wonderful learning more about that. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
And we'll have to find out more about Visiting Physicians.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys. Well, if you want to learn more about McFarland, we're going to check in with the Chamber of Commerce coming up right after this. Stick around. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. As promised, we're going to talk to you about McFarland, and to do that, we have Donna Manring here, who joins us from the Chamber of Commerce. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're very pleased to have you. Now, you are the executive director for the Chamber.
That's correct.
So you are the lady to talk to, and I want to talk to you a little bit about, for folks at home, there's a lot of reasons, I'm sure, that McFarland is a great place to live and work and play. What, in your mind, are some of those reasons?
Like you said, there's a lot of reasons, but some of the most important reasons is the sense of community that you'll have. We are situated by Lake Waubesa. We're a small village with all the amenities of a bigger city. So we have great restaurants, and our schools are phenomenal and very well known.
And you also have some interesting events that you put on and throughout the year. And I know that you have one that is actually coming up just right around the corner as well.
We do. We have a brand new event this year. We partnered with Lake Waubesa Camp, and we wanted to do, some of our events are free. Anyone with families knows that it's very expensive to take your children. This is an entirely free event. On Saturday, starting at 4 o'clock, there will be wall climbing, zip lines, games, and then at dusk, we're showing the Lego movie on the big screen outside.
Oh, I love that.
And it's free and open to the public.
How wonderful is that? It's always so nice to have a community that does events that families can attend at no cost. Little cost is even great, but at no cost at all is, of course, outstanding. So how nice for you guys to do that.
Thanks to our sponsors and some of our chamber members, it is free, which is
That's
awesome.
Wonderful. Now, let's talk a little bit about that, some of the chamber members and your sponsors. Now, there are some networking events that you do. So talk to us a little bit about how it really benefits those members to be attending these events.
One of the reasons I think that our chamber is so successful, whereas some people have seen a decline in membership, we are over 15 strong new members just this year, is because people are taking advantage of these networking events. They're getting to know other members and the businesses and services they provide. As we did CW 57 last year, Destination McFarland, I, as executive director, learned so much about the businesses. So the more the members attend these things, the more they're advertising their services and stronger relationships throughout the village.
Isn't that interesting? It seems so simple, but the more you participate in the events, the more you really get out of it, right?
It's true.
And talk to me a little bit about if there are some businesses or folks wanting to get involved. What is the process for that?
It's so simple. You can either go to our website and just download a membership application. You can call the chamber office, and then we will look at your membership application and then become a member with us. If people are interested in being a member, they can join us as a guest to one of our events as well. It's a very simple process.
Absolutely. Well, that's nice that you make it so easy for folks. And now, I'm not aware of how it works. Is it volunteer based?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, if it wasn't for our strong core of volunteers, we wouldn't be where we are. We have folks that have full-time jobs and that are committed and dedicated to the Village of McFarland for economic development, for being a visionary of where our village is going. So yes, we're a volunteer nonprofit association.
That is really wonderful. So may I ask, these volunteers that, many of them are working in full-time careers, what does that commitment look like for them?
It varies per their position. So for example, the board, we're going to be meeting, once a month. Each committee member or each volunteer will be given a time frame of the approximate time it takes to do things. But our volunteers love the village so much and want to see the economic development and the sustainability in the Village of McFarland. So we have some awesome volunteers.
That's really wonderful. And it's always nice to know if you want to get involved in something that there are levels of involvement based on your available time and commitment level. So let's talk a little bit really quick. We've got about a minute left about the future of the chamber and of the Village of McFarland. What do you see?
Excitement. We have a lot going on right now, and our CDA Community Development is really looking at the future of McFarland, and I can't tell you everything we're up to, but I can tell you this. Stay tuned, because we have some awesome projects that are going to be unfolding in the next year or so. So, for the Village of McFarland, it has a very bright future.
Very interesting. Well, we'll have to keep in touch
Please do.
See what's coming around the corner, because it sounds like you've got some exciting things in your future in McFarland, and actually in your very near future, because it's September 6th.
Right,
this
this
event,
Saturday.
Correct. So, all free event. And if they want more information, can they go to your website?
Please.
Okay, absolutely. Well, Donna, it was just a pleasure having you
Thank
and
you
learning
for
more
having
about
us.
McFarland. We'll have to have you back.
Okay.
And that's it for us for Talk of the Town, folks. Please join us next time.